Welcome to the 8th grade Math Homework Helper Series. Tonight's homework is PT-1, First Proof of Pythagorean Theorem. First, we'll take a look at some vocabulary. Right triangle. A triangle with one right angle or one 90-degree angle. Hypotenuse. The longest side of a right triangle, always opposite the right angle. Pythagorean Theorem. A theorem that states that for every right triangle, the sum of the squares of each leg is equal to the square of its hypotenuse. It is written mathematically like this: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Or the reverse is true: c squared equals a squared plus b squared. We'll start by taking a look at 1f. Find the area of each square. Show that the area of the legs added together equals the area of the hypotenuse. And so the first thing we want to do is take a look at one of the legs. I'll start with 10. And we want to create a box around this area, a square, like that. And then, knowing that all sides are 10, we want to find the area of this square. So 10 times 10 is 100. Now we're going to find the area of a square that's 24 by 24, which is 576. And technically, if we add these two together, it should give us the square of this box, which is 26 by 26, 676. And we can check ourselves by adding these two things up. So we have 576 and 100, which does in fact equal 676. So by doing that, we have proven Pythagorean's theorem. For question number 2, we're going to find the missing side length using Pythagorean theorem. So we have a 5 and we have a 13 and we have an x. We have our right angle illustrated for us right here. Remember that the right angle points to the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is also the longest side. We don't know the side of this, the size of it, so it's kind of hard to know whether or not 13 is the biggest or not, but we can tell that this is in fact the biggest, and it's the hypotenuse, because our right angle points in that direction. So 5 is a leg, and x is a leg. 13 is the hypotenuse. So 13 is going to be substituted for c. And then 5 and x are going to go in a, b. It doesn't matter which goes where. So I'm going to put 5 for a, so it's going to be 5 squared. B has to be x squared now, and then 13 squared. And then we can solve this algebraically. 5 squared is 25. X squared we don't know yet. 13 squared is 164. If I subtract 25 from both sides, I get x squared equals the square root of 144. Now, if I apply the square root to both sides, that will eliminate the exponent here and give me x by itself. And the square root of 144 is, of course, 12. I don't have to put any units of measurement on my answer because there were none given to me in the original problem. For 2e, we have a triangle that is 47 miles on one side, 63 miles on the other side, and p on the bottom. So I need to determine which of these three angles is my right angle. I can see it's this angle right here, which means that directly across from it is my hypotenuse. And so that means 47 is a leg and p is a leg, and 63 is my hypotenuse, which has to be substituted for c. So in this case, I'm going to take 47 as leg A and p as leg B. And now, once again, I can solve these things algebraically. So 47 squared is 2,209. P squared is unknown as of yet. And 63 squared is 3,969. If I subtract 2209 from both sides, I get p squared equals 1760. I need to do the square root of both of those to get rid of the exponent of 2 for p, and I get a full calculator display of 41.95235393 miles. And so I'm going to round that to 41.95. The 2 isn't able to bump the 5 up to a 6, so I'll leave it at 41.95 miles. Next, we're going to take a look at 2f. So we have a triangle with two sides given, 77 kilometers and 92 kilometers. I need to determine which of these three angles is my right angle, and it's not quite so easy to figure out on this triangle. I do see that it's this one here in this corner, but in terms of trying to determine that, if that didn't immediately jump out at you, one thing you could do is, knowing that it has to be the longest, clearly this couldn't be the longest, W. So it's a then choice between 77 or 92, and you know 92 is obviously longer, so 92 has to be the hypotenuse. And so we'll plug that in for C, and then W and 77 can go for A or B, it doesn't matter. In this case, I put the variable first, and once again, we're going to solve algebraically. 77 to the second power is 5929. 92 to the second power is 8464. If I subtract the 5929 from both sides, I get W squared is 2535. If I do the square root of both, I'm going to wind up with W equaling a full calculator display of 50.3487835 kilometers. And I can round the 8, bumping the 4 up to a 5, round it to 50.35 kilometers. Please use the problems that were done for you tonight to help you to solve any additional problems that are on your homework. And remember, the key to success in math is not only working hard, but working smart.